What's good? Thank you for stopping by to visit the channel for this upcoming game preview of the third Saturday in October. If you are looking for a different take of college football from a different perspective, if you haven't done so already, please click that subscribe button, click the notification bell, and select all so you don't miss another video. Also, like the video, share the video, it helps this channel grow, and at the end of each video, please give me your score prediction in the comment section, even if you agree or disagree. Folks, no need to discuss what we're talking about here. Top 10 matchup in Neyland Stadium, Alabama, Tennessee. As I said before, third Saturday in October, big time rivalry. Let's get started how we always do with the tail of the tape of advanced metrics. So as we can tell when we review the tail of the tape, this is obviously a top 10 matchups in the advanced analytics and also in the current poll system. Now what we see here, 4 out of the 5 categories, it is a push. Alabama's defense versus Tennessee's offense, which is going to be a battle. But the biggest advantage is Alabama's offense versus Tennessee's defense, which has the Crimson Tide ranked 4th in the country in offensive SP+, to Tennessee's 39th ranked defensive SP+. The Vols jumped out on LSU with a 76% success rate in the first quarter. You can kind of tell the game was getting ready to get out of hand for LSU when they fumbled on the opening kickoff, giving Tennessee a short field. Based on what we have seen from Tennessee all season long, you just can't give them any short fields to work with. They are the best red zone team in the country and a completely potent offense in that itself. At the end of the day, LSU just didn't have the horses in the tank. The biggest surprise, though, that I think everyone has failed to realize here is Tennessee's defense. And it's not really the pass defense, which is still a work in progress, but the rush defense. Tennessee's defense is essentially all or nothing. They will sell out and stop the run, which as you can tell with LSU with a 30% rush success rate, but they stuffed 22% of LSU's runs at or behind the line of scrimmage. The run defense of Tennessee is legit. The pass defense, as I said before, is definitely a work in progress, but at the end of the day, they will sell out and they will stop the run. Everybody seems to think that they're really an offensive team, which the offense will sell the tickets, but the defense, the run defense especially, is what's winning them games, and also their ability to run the football as well. When I previewed this game, I said Texas A&M had to make this game really ugly for Alabama, and Alabama had to play the exact same game that they had against LSU last year when they were playing at home and they were expected to blow LSU out. And they got all of that and then some, but they also had an added bonus of not being able to see Bryce Young playing for Alabama as well. So that did play a factor into it. They forced 4 turnovers for Alabama, which led to Texas A&M's 20 points. Alabama just had an uncharacteristic game. At the end of the day, I don't really get the hot takes of most of the pundits saying how Alabama's in trouble. Personally, they played a game with a backup quarterback against a team in Texas A&M that played desperate. They were in wounded animal mode, and they threw everything at Alabama, including the kitchen sink, and it just wasn't enough. Honestly, Alabama dropping to 3, which I find to be very, very interesting, very curious. It seems that Alabama is probably the only team in the country that they have to win by style points each and every week. And you'll have other teams who will struggle in back-to-back weeks, and it will take them a miracle to drop in the polls. So I think Alabama fans are probably excited that they're now third, because it kind of gives, their players, I guess, a chip on their shoulder, so to speak. But I don't really think you should need any added motivation to play against a top 10 team on the road, to be quite honest with you. If we're looking at the offense versus defense matchup, Tennessee has not seen a defense all season long as good as Alabama, and Alabama has not seen an offense quite as good as Tennessee's. But when you break this down, the Alabama defense, out of the 10 categories, they have an advantage in 3 of them. The rest are pushes. The one thing that a lot of people don't understand about Tennessee, yes, they can throw the football a lot. They use their wide splits, but they count the box to get their favorable advantage. And if you feel that you can stop them by having 6 in the box, well, they're going to use that to their advantage and they're going to spread you out and run. But they're going to face an Alabama defense that is allowing well around 55% of their opponent's rush averages. So they are not an easy team to run against. Now, Tennessee is the type of team that they will run it a lot. They run the football, I think well over 40 times a game. So they are not going to abandon what is going to work for them. They like to run to soften you up. On the other end, Alabama, one of the best teams in the country in not allowing explosive plays, 5th in the country in defensive explosiveness, and they're one of the top teams in the country in sack rate. They are now 12th in that metric. Hendon Hooker, sometimes he holds on to the ball just a tad bit long, and as we saw with the LSU game, he did get caught in a blindside blitz. Alabama, they may not need to blitz at times because they can get pressure with at least 3 to 4 guys. Will Anderson, Dallas Turner, and Chris Braswell, who is now emerging. This is going to be a test for that Tennessee offensive line to see if they can withstand the pressure that Alabama is going to bring. Alabama is coming into this game averaging 7 yards per carry. You heard me correct. They're averaging 7 yards per carry. So they are indeed running the dang ball. However, they're not really getting those tough yards, those 3, 4, 5 yards, so to speak, the really hard ones that you're trying to get. They're just breaking the long runs. Jahmyr Gibbs is one of the best backs in the country. And this is why the Alabama offense, as far as running the football, they're ranked in the top 20 when you adjust for opponent. But they're going to be tested against this Vol front. The Tennessee Vol defense is allowing 68% of their opponent's rush averages, and they're 4th in the country in stopping runs at or behind the line of scrimmage, and they're 12th in the country in defensive line yards. So that really is a testament to the strength of that defensive line, which is the best unit that is on that defense. So it is an all or nothing defense that I feel that Tennessee runs here, which is why their pass defense is struggling quite a bit, only because they feel the need that if they stop the run and they get you behind the chains, that pass rush could get to them. Now, there's going to be some concerns, though, for Alabama if Bryce Young's not able to go. If Jalen Milroe's a quarterback, all of these numbers here, these numbers are going to be rendered obsolete. But if Bryce Young's able to go, he's definitely going to test that passing. He's going to test that secondary of Tennessee. And this is not going to be a matchup that Tennessee fans don't want to see. So at the time of recording, the Vegas line is currently at 7 in favor of Alabama. And my computer model has Alabama winning by the score of 34 to roughly 29 with a 65% win probability. Bill Connolly's SP Plus rating has Alabama favored by 6 as well. So it looks like both of the computer models do not like Alabama to cover in this game. So Tennessee is a single-digit underdog. They're playing at home. Is there a path to victory in this game? Absolutely. 100% there's a path. We kind of saw a little bit of that in the Texas A&M game last week for Alabama. Path number 1, forced turnovers. Alabama is one of the worst teams in the country in turnover margin. Here's the second path. You take those turnovers and you convert those into points by having a short field. Tennessee, one of, if not, the best red zone offense in the country. They are going to score points. That's number 2. Number 3 is probably the obvious one. You see Jalen Milroe at quarterback and not Bryce Young. Alabama is a different offense, as we all saw Saturday night, without Bryce Young. And if he's not operating that offense, it's not going to run at peak efficiency. Not even close. There's no way that offense is going to run as good with Bryce Young at quarterback as opposed to Jalen Milroe. Here's also another path for Tennessee. This is path number 4. Let's say if Bryce Young does play and he is effective somewhat. If Alabama gets inside the red zone, we've seen Bill O'Brien get a little cute inside the 20-yard line, and they come up with either a field goal or they come up with a turnover. Tennessee is third in the country in defensive points per opportunity. They allow 3 points per scoring chance. One of the top defenses in the country in that metric. Points per opportunity is huge. If you are only getting a field goal, if you're threatening to score, field goals are failures. And Tennessee is doing their job on defense in not allowing other teams to score touchdowns. They'll let you get 3 all day long because they feel their offense is going to go right back down the field and get 7. So I gave 4 paths of victory for Tennessee. I'm going to give 2 scores of this game. But before I do, I just found out that Tennessee's starting defensive back, Jalen McCullough, I don't know if he's going to be out for the game, but there is some news circulating that he did get arrested. Don't know the full story. But if he is out, that's a bigger hole for Tennessee's secondary, because you have not only the captain of that secondary, but he's also one of the top tacklers on that team. I think he's 4th on the team in tackles. So that would be a big loss for them as well. But if Bryce Young doesn't play for Alabama, I don't think they'll be able to take advantage of it. But I think Bryce Young will play. In my opinion, I think he is going to play in this game. And if he does play in the game, you're going to see a different Alabama offense than you saw against Texas A&M. The running game starting to get a little bit better, starting to pick it up. They're not going to run for 7 yards per carry. I would be surprised if they run for 7 yards per carry. I would say Alabama would probably get around 4.5. If they get to 5 against this Tennessee front, that's an impressive feat nonetheless. And Bryce Young will take advantage of that Tennessee secondary, I believe, too. Even with or without Jalen McCullough, I would trust Bryce Young to carve up that secondary. However, if he cannot go, Alabama has no shot at beating Tennessee if he cannot go. If Jalen Milroe is a quarterback, Tennessee would win 38-20. And I have no problem saying that. But if Bryce Young is playing, give me Alabama 38, Tennessee 27. I think Bryce Young is that big of a difference, and Alabama's defense will get enough stops to corral Tennessee's offense. And the pass rush for Alabama would give Hendon Hooker too much trouble, even though Hooker will be able to find he'll find some receivers open. He'll find Brew McCoy and those boys. He's gonna get theirs, but I think Alabama's gonna keep them out of the end zone and force Tennessee to go for 3 as opposed to getting 7. So give me Alabama 38-27. Bryce Young plays. Bryce Young doesn't play. Tennessee will win going away 38-20 easily. And with that being said, that is it for this game preview. Let me know what your thoughts are of the game in the comment section below. Give me your score prediction and tell me why your team is going to win the game. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give the video a like. And if you love college football as much as I do, please hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell, and select all so you don't miss another video. Thank you again for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next one.